in the SEC. Every weekend seemingly is big. This weekend, no exception. You got to think Rupp going to be on fire. Tickets I was looking at earlier today, they're crazy. I mean, SEC tickets right now, they're hot. But the Wildcats are 4.5-point underdogs tomorrow at home against the number one team in America, the Auburn Tigers. Rob, when you look at the matchup, certainly, all these games are fun. It matters for seeding. Auburn trying to hang on to the overall number one seed. How do you look at that matchup for them on the road tomorrow? And Rupp's going to be crazy.
Oh, Rupp is going to be absolutely rocking. I was down there for the Tennessee game earlier this year when Tennessee went to Rupp, and I forgot how loud that building can get when that fan base is locked in and engaged and having fun. I think, look, this is a matchup where I think Kentucky actually has some pieces that could make this a little bit closer than maybe some people will expect. Amari Williams is a big body. They have some guys on the perimeter. Lamont Butler is going to play. He wasn't on the SEC injury report. Jackson Robinson is not going to play. And I don't think that I'd be worried about Auburn's defense too much against Kentucky. I think Kentucky can score against anybody. It's more, will they have the pieces to be able to slow down what Auburn does on the offensive end? And I think that they have about as favorable of a matchup as you can get against the best offense in college basketball. I think Auburn will win, but I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game, and I think it's going to come down to the final minutes. If it's not a one-possession game at the under 4 timeout, I'd be really surprised.
Do you think at this point, Jarrell, Auburn is just on a mission right now for complete excellence and dominance heading into the SEC tournament? Or do you think for Kentucky, this will be a message sent tomorrow at home in front of their home crowd?
Yeah, and I think I definitely think it'll be a good game. It'll be a good competitive game. Rupp will be on fire for sure, so they'll have the home fans and that kind of energy behind them. I do think that it's going to end up being a little bit higher scoring than maybe anticipated. Kentucky can obviously score with the best of them with some of the brilliant ideas and sets and stuff that Mark Pope likes to use. Butler is kind of the engine that makes everything go. And gets all of those other guys easy scoring opportunities. So I think they'll be able to score it against Auburn, and Rob kind of hinted to it. I think they got enough size to make it a little bit more difficult for some of the stuff that they like to do with Auburn with some of the flex actions with Broom and things like that. So I think it'll be a fun game. I anticipate it'll be a couple possession games, but I think Kentucky has a shot. Obviously, Jackson Robinson being out is going to be a little bit a big blow for them, but those guys have been decimated by injury, so they're trying to do what they can to get healthy now going down the stretch. But they need a good they need a good momentum win going into the SEC tournament. And I think this is just a great opportunity to kind of get that confidence and that belief in this team back, where it's like not only are we good, but when we're at full strength and playing the right way, that we can compete with anybody in the country. So
I think the really big thing is that Kentucky's weakness defensively is like they're not a team that's going to force a lot of turnovers, right? They're going to run you off the 3-point line. They're going to try to make it as difficult as possible to score in and around the paint as they can. They are not great at that, but that's what they are going to try to do. And Auburn is a team where if you have guys that can make Chad Baker-Mazara and Tahad Pettiford take difficult shots, which is what Lamont Butler and Otega Oweh, at least in theory, should be able to do, and you have a good enough scheme to be able to take away some of the stuff that they run, which is going to be easier said than done, but I don't think it's impossible, and you can funnel everything to Johni Broome. I said this the other day, as weird as it sounds for a guy that might be the National Player of the Year, if you can make Johni Broome have to beat you in the post, then you are going to win a lot of games, because he is not a very efficient post. Like, he does a lot of things at a very, very high level. Posting up 10 feet away from the basket and getting to a good shot or drawing a foul is not one of those things that he does at a very high level. So I think that they have the pieces to be able to limit what Pettiford and Baker-Mazara are going to get kind of in one-on-one sets. I think that in theory they should be able to make it difficult for Denver Jones and Miles Kelly. And I think that they have on paper guys that can kind of funnel it into Janai Broome and try to make him beat you in the post. But again, look, it's Auburn. They have the best offense in college basketball. They are the best team in college basketball this side of Duke, depending on where you fall on that argument. And it is like it's not going to be easy to beat them. I think that Kentucky has the pieces to be able to make it close, but we'll see, man. Auburn is Auburn for a reason.
They are Auburn for a reason, and it could be a really good showcase opportunity against Kentucky tomorrow for Janai Broome and his Player of the Year status as he tries to beat out Cooper Flagg for that award. And Cooper doesn't exactly have the big showcase games left on the schedule. Tennessee and Alabama tomorrow, two teams that play completely different styles of basketball. Jarrell McNeil, it's at Thompson Bowling. Do you like the Vols at home or not? What are the keys?
Yeah, I do. I think Tennessee will kind of make it into a bloodbath. They'll dictate pace and just the physicality of the game, and they'll get Alabama into a situation where they're not able to get out constantly in transition and get easy buckets. They'll make all of the stuff. Ziegler is one of the best on-guard ball defenders in the country. He'll make things hard on Sears, and they'll go get extra second chance opportunities off of the glass as well too. So I definitely think it'll be a good game. It's always a matchup of style and pace with these two type of teams, but I think Tennessee will get the edge at home.
All right, I do want to tell everybody we have afters coming up after the show, so make sure you get your questions in right now on YouTube. Before we do that, though, Rob is going to give us his take on some games, including this one. Rob, what do you think, Tennessee and Alabama tomorrow?
I actually like Alabama in this one. I think that after losing those two games in a row, Nate Oates made it very clear that if you're not going to follow the scouting report and you're not going to do the little things that they require, you're going to be sitting on the bench. And I think the message got through. We saw it in the last two games. I think Alabama goes into Thompson Bowling against this one against Tennessee.